All right, guys. Hey, my name is James Gage, head football coach, assistant athletic director at Alvin High School down in the Houston area, just about 20 miles south of the downtown Houston. This is my sixth year here at Alvin High School, finishing up year four as the head football coach. We are a true flex bone, triple option football team. We dabbled a little bit in some gun option stuff a couple years ago, but have gone back to our roots, and we were 100% under center flex bone this year. And so I grew up a coach's kid. My dad coached for 43 years in the state of Texas, old wishbone coach. And so when I grew up watching football, I grew up in the wishbone era and got to see him have some success at Louisville High School. Won a 93 and 96 state championship here in the state of Texas running the wishbone. His claim to fame, and pretty cool to watch as a kid, was he won a state championship game, scored 58 points in 1996, and threw the ball 0 times. So we take a lot of pride in running the football here. We feel like we do a good job of it, and we feel like we've been able to have some successful years because of the system that we have in place here. So using a three-man surface to create explosive plays. Again, we like running the football here, but I'm a huge believer in running running the ball to a tight end side, using a three-man surface, to give the defense trouble, to give them some problems. And so we use a lot of three-man surface here at Alvin High School. So all right, and then we'll get into some film here in just a second. But the main runs that we like to use here, using the three-man surfaces, is the midline. We like running it to the three-man if they're going to slide, if they're going to stay, a shade 5-9, something like that, with the three on the backside or 4-eye on the backside. Then we like to run it weak. Inside veer, I'm a huge fan of inside veer to unbalance. I love using a tight end and receiver on the same side to run inside veer. Because I think it puts the defense in a bind as far as, are they going to roll down to try to gain an extra defender? Or are they going to stay high, too high, and allow it? So it just puts them in a bind. And I'll show you some film here in a second where we've been able to get some teams in trouble defensively just based off of alignment. So really big fan of inside veer to the three-man side. The outside veer, one of the best plays in football that nobody hardly uses anymore, but we still use it here at Alvin. I'm a big believer in, run the ball in C gap, because teams don't know how to defend C gap anymore. And so you'll see some film on here where teams just struggle lining up and are literally allowing us to just hand the ball off and run open into C gap. So outside veer is obviously a huge play for us. The play that's kind of come along the last couple years is zone dive for us. It's a super simple play to run. But not a lot of teams run it to a three-man side. The Hardings of the world, the Armies, Air Force, those guys, they don't necessarily run it as much to a three-man side as we do. But again, I really like coming off the football, putting a point of emphasis on attacking the defensive linemen. But we want to get double teams, triple teams, and just hand the ball off. And so we are going to do zone dive to a tight end. We probably ran that play the most the last 5 weeks of the year. This last year had a lot of success with it. And then we didn't really run much belly G this year, but the previous years we've run it and run it really well. That's just one of those plays that we just couldn't really get going early on this year. So we kind of put it aside and put our focus on some of the other stuff. But belly G to a three-man surface is a great play, depending on what the defense is going to give you. But we've had some success running that as well over the years. And so, all right, so our first thing we'll talk about is our midline. And so this was a couple years ago. I'll go to the tight angle so you can see. Lightning is our offensive formation. Lightning is going to be tackle over with the receiver on the same side. So you can see we've got a three-man surface here with a guard, tackle, another tackle with a tight end on the weak side, receiver to the same. So again, they were kind of a four-man front look, and they were giving us some head up twos. And so midline was a good play for us. So right here, you can see we're going to go out with our tackle and tight end. We've got 2 for 2 out there with a running back inserting on the linebacker right there, and just creates the natural bubble. Again, they've got somebody for the pitch, takes himself completely out of the play. And now they do not have anybody to fit the quarterback up into B gap right there. So obviously, we're reading the first guy play side of the center for us is our rule, but we go out with our tackle and tight end there. You can see they both get great head position with a running back inserting right there on the linebacker. And now we've got a huge hole for our quarterback to run up inside. So, again, just an easy play for us. Let's see here. Going to another scheme. Again, don't mind the wide angle. We had to get that fixed after this game. But again, now we're running it away from the tight end. So Rhino for us is a balanced formation. We've got guard, tackle, tight end right here. With a guard tackle strong or to the opposite side with the receiver. So we would count that balance. We've got 3 and 3. But again, teams slide to our tight end. All right. We run a lot of options. So you can see the safety triggering down on the pitch. We get an easy out call on the stand-up linebacker on the weak side. Running back inserts. Doesn't get a great block, but they've got 2 guys on the fullback. We had a really good fullback this year, so teams try to take him away. And there it is right there for the quarterback. So, again, team slide, you can see they've got a 3 and 9. They've got linebacker, safety, corner. They've got everybody over here to the tight end side. And naturally, we're giving us a bubble on the weak side over there. So, again, just really, you can see right there, just the hole, how it opens up. All right. Not great film, but a great result right there. All right, explosive play opposite. This was this year. This was the last game of the year. And let me go ahead and go big screen for you to help you out. This was kind of a screw up by our tight end, but it's something that we talked about this offseason about installing. We're running midline over here to the left. All right, so we call everything R and L. So jelly would be midline to the left. Links is the formation. So we've got guard, tackle, tight end, receiver. Links is an unbalanced set for us. We should be going out, but our tight end screws up, and so they X block by accident. He X blocks with the tackle. Running back inserts, and now we end up with a tight end on our safety right there, and nobody left for the quarterback. So again, they were trying to run a 5-man front to gap up on us and take some stuff away. We were still able to just turn one man free. That's the best part about running the midline is we can turn somebody loose. All right, so we get the out block by our tackle. Should have been an out, but again, screwed up. But the tight end ends up getting all the way up to the safety, and there goes the quarterback right there. All right, so an explosive play to the tight end side, right? So we know he's our number 1 in our option count. So this should be the tight end's man. And this should be our tackles man. But again, we end up screwing up, but it's okay because again, teams are out of position playing a different rule than they normally are. So he ends up on the safety, he X's, and he inserts for the mic right there. And now we've got everybody accounted for to the tight end side. They just don't have enough numbers over there to account for everybody. Tackle takes the fullback, quarterback reads it, gets up into B gap right there, and then accelerates through the hole. Obviously a good play for us.